Hey everyone! Last time you guys saw me, I was doing an unboxing of the game I'm sitting down to discuss today, Rune Factory 5. Check it out if you haven't already, and I'll go ahead and link it in the description. I did it in Japanese this time, just because I wanted to try and make another attempt at expanding my audience to Japan. But it didn't really work. I'm still not exactly sure why, but oh well. Anyways, I'm so ready to sit down and tell you all how much I absolutely love this game already. I feel like I appreciate it even more having just gotten off the Story of Seasons Pioneers of Olive Town grind. Now I know there's still a lot of controversy around that game, so I don't want to get too deep into it, but needless to say, it left a pretty bad taste in my mouth, not gonna lie. But you should all be happy to know that Rune Factory 5 is an actual masterpiece, and it should be heading to international audiences soon. This is coming from the producer himself, Hashimoto Yoshifumi. First and foremost, you guys gotta get a look at the costumes available in this game. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to get them from the eShop once the game comes out where you are, but aren't they just the cutest? I love how the creators decided to incorporate outfits based on the protagonists from the previous games. My favorites are definitely Mist's, for nostalgic reasons, Sia's, and Margaret's. More so than the costumes, I would have to say I'm most impressed by the interactions with the other characters in the game, and by that I mean the dialogues and the events. I find myself talking to just about everyone in town every single day because I find their personalities so quirky and entertaining. It's not like they continually repeat the same thing either. If someone new moves into town, let's say, everyone's gonna have something interesting to say about them. Plus, there's a high chance I could end up triggering an in-town event that links to several cutscenes of interactions with the characters, which makes it even more beneficial to further my relations with the townspeople. Said events can be triggered even on festival days, so it's not like there's any weird restriction on the flow of the game either. It all just feels really natural. Now, I also have a very odd thing that I enjoy about the game, and it might actually be something that could annoy other people who play the game. It's how the characters don't stick to their scheduled working hours. Like in most games, Story of Seasons included, as soon as the shop open time starts, like let's say 9 a.m., the characters are programmed to walk right up to the counter and play their part at the register until the end of the day. Well, in Rune Factory 5, however, you'll get characters who walk slowly to their work post, maybe a few minutes late, or there are even some people who just flat out don't show up to work at all. Okay, I have to correct this because I just installed the most recent 1.02 update because one of the patches includes making Foxy Macho Man actually work. I'm telling you guys, before this patch, this man was doing literally anything but his job. Speaking of incorporating features to the game that make the townspeople feel like real people with real emotions and preferences, there's another interesting feature to Rune Factory that I heard about. I noticed that the heart levels of certain characters in the game would raise exponentially faster than other characters, without me even making an effort to talk to them at all. This really puzzled me at first, but after I did some digging on some Japanese chat forums about the game, I realized that other people were experiencing this as well, and they had already came up with a theory to explain this phenomenon. It seems that certain characters' level of affection is affected by your character's skill levels. Take our sword boy, Reinhardt, for example. He likes swords, battle, action, oh yeah. By the way, he's voiced by the same guy who plays Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. So if you happen to fancy leveling up your weapon skills, then you'll probably start to notice his heart level raise at a suspiciously fast rate. So if this theory is indeed true, and other characters, like for example Hina, and her possible heart level's correlation to your walking skill, are a real thing, then this is quite genius, honestly. I think that by having a character whom you normally wouldn't have pursued on your own come to like you because of the way you happen to play the game, that could easily change the way you view that character. Someone unexpected could really sneak up on you and just steal your heart, you know? If that isn't enough to make you fall in love, how about stopping by to say hello to the dedicated Seed Ranger, Scarlet, and coming to find her just about to finish a jigsaw puzzle she'd been working on for days? Or how about running to the backside of town to gather some lumber, only to run into Beatrice sunbathing on the shore? Or heck, You could even run into freaking Chris Angel.
You're gonna want to remember this, trust me.
Have him do a magic trick or two, am I right? I don't know about you guys, but I love the attention to detail when it comes to how each of these characters go about their daily lives in Rigbath. It gives so much more meaning to their existence in the game. Not only are the characters cute, but we have some super cute monsters this time around as well. My personal favorites are the fairies, and their stats are pretty strong. The siren monster in particular had been a super hot topic for a while online because of her insanely strong stats. So much so that the Japanese gaming channels were busting out loads of videos urging players to befriend a siren and use them in battle. But it seems like the big guys caught wind of this at Hakama headquarters because they issued an update dramatically dropping the siren stats down to normal levels. Now, we gotta talk about one of the biggest complaints on the chat forums about the romance in this game, and that would be what players are calling the wedding glitch. Let's get this straight, it's not an actual glitch. Rather, it's an issue where some of the game's most alluring characters aren't eligible for marriage. I fell down a rabbit hole of reading a huge comment thread of Japanese players getting so upset that Foxy Mama wasn't an eligible marriage candidate. One dude said something along the lines of, "I'm not marrying anyone until we get the patch that lets us put a ring on that foxy single mother." Go ahead and wait, dude. You do you, man. Another topic relating to marriage would be the rather unfortunate fact that the game isn't set up to allow same-sex marriage like many of us were expecting it would. Why? I'm not really sure, to be honest. I'm not going to pretend like I know the reason why either, but I will say that I know the producer, Hashimoto-san, worked on a lot of the previous HM games, including the first ever to have a same-sex marriage feature, which was DSQ. Furthermore, from what I've seen, you can still trigger heart events with the characters of the same sex because I just triggered one with Lucy. We also have to remember that this game is the first Rune Factory of Hashimoto-san's newly launched subsidiary, Hakama. Hashimoto-san said that the main reason he isn't able to include a lot of the features that fans want is because of the time and budget constraints. So that may have played a role in not including it this time around. Also, I just want to say, although I don't think it's anything too detrimental to the overall experience, Rune Factory 5's graphics aren't as detailed as I had expected them to be. Specifically, I'm referring to the backdrops and overall atmosphere around you in the game, not necessarily the characters themselves. Now, don't get me wrong, I really love the promenade of cherry blossom trees in the center of town, but once you zoom out a bit and look how they're actually structured, it feels a bit blocky. I guess in previous titles, I was absolutely blown away by the immense detail in each and every nook and cranny in the game's beautifully pastel environment. So this game's approach to a more neon-colored atmosphere and thick 3D black lines around the characters sort of caught me off guard. Well, with that, I think I'm gonna wrap up today's video. I haven't gotten all that far into the game yet because I'm really enjoying taking my time with it and savoring every moment, especially in regards to interacting with the townspeople every day and seeing what mischief they're up to. I hope you enjoyed this video and let me know in the comments what you are most excited about for Rune Factory 5.